I completed the 90-day challenge and here's all about it. 2023, I started working out and I felt like I pretty much was into the habit of going to the gym. I didn't feel like I was overweight by that much. I didn't feel like I was not in the best shape of myself. I felt perfectly fine. However, I had a goal of achieving something, of feeling better, and despite the effort of consistently going in the week, I didn't have a routine. Now I know, all these internet gurus nowadays are pretty much just all saying the same thing. Consistency, it's the same thing over and over. You have to put the reps in. But for me, I didn't have a strong enough why. So when I first started going, I pretty much was just going for the bands, for the enjoyment of working out, seeing my friend, etc. It's not until a project went left and pretty much that left me flat on my face. I had a lot of issues that I had to deal with, and running a business, being a parent, and also having to, support myself as a freelancer, it crushed me because I'd put in everything into the project. Now, I think the reason why it crushed me was because of the fact that I'd actually given so much of my time and effort to it. And not only was I running a business, I was also, parenting and also support myself freelance. So the project had a huge toll on me. And because of that, I lost my why. I lost my reason for wanting to get up every day and doing the things that I loved, which was creating new projects, working with new artists, new brands. And essentially that was the last straw for music related projects. But something saved me. And it wasn't until 2024 where I started to regain my confidence and started working back into the industry. Within 2025, I saw one of my closest friends, Carlos, complete his 75 hard. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but 75 hard is pretty much a challenge to work out twice a day for 75 days. And you're meant to eat clean, think clean, and obviously exercise. And so all the areas that are going to actually give you that feel good energy. Now, I saw him complete this and he absolutely smashed it. He was going to do in gym with me. He was then going to do Muay Thai, boxing. He was doing so many different exercises and they were all jam-packed into these 75 days, which he would post online. Now, for me, that was crazy inspiring because I've grown up with Carlos for a long time. So I've known him since the age of 9. And, having witnessed his journey through all the different stages, I realized that when he locked into this thing, he was really committed and it was inspiring to see. So I took that as a sign for myself, despite having a clean diet and, somewhat eating healthy. I decided to challenge myself, not just to 75 hard, but to the 90-day challenge. Why 90 days? Well, I knew that it would take me a bit of time to get into it and be consistent. Sometimes I feel like I can just lock in on things and, sometimes I feel like it can take me a little second to do it, but also for the sake of balancing it with reality of all the different responsibilities which I listed out before. So for me, this challenge not only was just about working out, but also studying a new skill, also improving my relationship with my children and being there for them and doing more things with them, and spiritually also reaffirming my connection to God. Now, for me, this challenge wasn't solely about just putting it online, but I wanted to keep myself accountable. So I posted it online, and to be fair, I received so many comments. Like, there was literally people supporting me, checking in, asking me what day it is. Every meeting I'd have, it'd always be someone referencing the fact that they've seen what I've done, how's it going, it's inspiring, and I really did feel like I was just in a lifestyle of just consistently working out. And for me, that meant a lot because I haven't been one to really post myself online too much. I've always stayed behind the camera and always stayed supporting other people's visions. However, at this stage of my life, I decided that there's so much that I can actually do and speak on that I don't need to hide myself. I can just let people know where I am and the truths of what I am and what I represent and what I can offer, and just stand firm in that rather than always trying to be this perfect idea. So this challenge really pushed me to my limits of sharing where I'm at, being accountable, posting up workouts. I could have not been the best on a particular exercise. I could have not been doing the best form or using the best weight, or maybe not as engaging as maybe, what I would have loved to have done and created films and done everyday vlogs, etc. But I just kept to the consistency. So overall, with this challenge, there were a few things that I took away from it. I've got a quote here from The Compound Effect, a book that I really love, just because the raw fact that it tells you everything you need to know in terms of consistency and why it's important to be consistent. So the quote goes, "Step by step, day by day, your choices will shape your actions until they become habits, where practice makes them permanent." Now that's from Darren Hardy, author of The Compound Effect. But what that represents for me is that it takes a solid amount of time to build a habit, to make it habitual, to make it something where it will stick. As I was going through this challenge, it became something that was a non-negotiable. I had to be able to go to the gym, exercise, whether it was swimming, cardio, doing bicep, tricep, whatever it is, tennis, it didn't matter. That was my dopamine. And the 1 hour or 2 hours that I got in there meant so much, because when I came out of it, I felt refreshed and ready to go for the day, despite all the challenges that I was facing. Now, unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse. This struck on day 68. I had been jumping out of a van and I landed incorrectly on my ankle, spraining it. Now, for me, as soon as it happened, I got an instant rush of heat. My foot was swollen and I couldn't touch it. It felt so sensitive. The fact that I couldn't even place my foot down and walk, it had crushed me, because I rely heavily on being able to get around and do different things and move about in the day. Because I had to, for once, sit down and stay in one place, which, to be honest, was the hardest thing for me. But I took it as a lesson. And I started to really hone in on what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and how I need to get to the next place. And one of the lessons for me was sometimes that although you're often trying to get to the next level, it is literally about enjoying the process. Because in that time that I had off, where I wasn't able to move around, I didn't have constant distractions, new things happening all the time. I had to just learn to be still with my thoughts and work from home, essentially. It taught me so much. It taught me the fact that things happen and you just have to learn how to navigate them and work within the parameters that you have. It also taught me that perseverance is key, because there was so many times I just felt to give in with this challenge, but I would tell myself, even if I can do 1% of an exercise, which is maybe just doing, going to the gym and doing a workout on chest, or doing, my other leg, or training my arms, or training anything that's possible. It's the effort that counts. And it's really about the consistency of sticking at it. On the good days or on the bad days, if it's sunny or if it's rainy, it doesn't matter. The consistency is key. For me, that's been one of the hardest things, for even just recording my YouTube videos and editing them, because let's be real, it's not easy. Editing and staying consistent with filming yourself, there's so many other things popping up that you could just tell yourself you're going to do it later, but later may never come. So it's really about acting in the moment. Now, I'm not an internet guru and I wouldn't even try to act like I am. But these key learnings meant absolutely everything, because it was trial and tested. I knew that if I was going to put myself out there, no one would. And when I did, people always encouraged to see more of it. So it was literally a limitation of self-belief. And to be honest, having put myself out there, I've become a lot more confident with just posting myself as is, without the need of perfection. Now, I know perfection is because you want to look the best part that you can. But the reality is, you have to build in the present. When you're thinking about tech companies, they don't have one final piece of software that's perfect. They're always innovating and releasing new types of software based on the fact that the other one has loads of issues. And that's how you have to look at yourself. As you're putting yourself out there, as you're doing your projects, just as a moment of reflection, doing the daily work and putting the time in and improving over time is more valuable and has a longer and higher chance of impact than just trying to do something and giving up and then retrying to do it later. So for me, this challenge really did push me, and I really do hope that it's something that you would consider, because it was a great wake-up call to realize that I have so much more to give. I have so much more energy, creation, ideas, love, joyfulness, that when I'm my best self, I'm able to give to others. So that's it. My 90-day challenge all wrapped up. I challenge you to do something, even if it is to just push yourself with that one limiting self-belief. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment, give me your thoughts, like, subscribe. Thanks for today.